when I look at your videos, I'm like, hell yeah, I'd join that gym. I'm a fighter. Are you? Are you a fighter?
Yeah. How have you been handling all of your social media, your content since before we came in?
It was hit and miss. You know, I'd take some videos of what's happening in the gym, but I might do, 3 in 1 week and then none for 6 weeks. The amount of inquiries I have since you guys have started doing the media, I was doing 3 or 4 a week. I was happy with 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing 3 or 4 a day. Every video that's come in, I'm like, that's really good. I want to join that gym. Yeah. You've convinced me to want to join the gym that I run.
So, we're finally sitting down together.
Yes, yes indeed.
Just to get started overall, tell us about yourself. Brandon, what do you take care of? What do you do?
So I guess I'm the manager and run the boxing part of the gym, fitness classes. Organise all the other trainers, make sure everything's running all right. The gym is open in the morning.
Yeah.
Make sure the other trainers are on time and cover any spots that can't, that need to be covered. So
busy life, hey?
Yeah, but that, this is my job. The other trainers have other jobs. This is their extra. This is what they do as an extra. So it's up to me to make sure that everything is running right for them.
Nice. I was talking over the phone with someone who does your uniforms today, and he said you have so many stories of people who come through who've had a damaged lifestyle, and you've kind of pointed them in the right direction as well.
Look, as far as to do a combat sport especially, any sport, whether it be football or it's structured. A lot of people don't have structure in their life, and you need to have structure. Structure is good. Structure gives you something to work towards, and especially in a combat sport. You can't come in here and do a boxing class if you're not concentrating on what's happening.
Yeah.
Because as a trainer, as I'm yelling out combinations, or if you're not listening, if you're not 100% attentive, you're going to get it wrong, and then I'm going to point it out.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the, if you get to the contact stage, you're doing sparring, you're doing, whether it be Muay Thai, BJJ, MMA, boxing, if you're not 100% concentrated on what's happening, you're going to get hit a lot, and it's not much fun.
What's the saying? Everyone has a plan until they're hit in the face.
Yeah, that's right. And look, the amount of people that walk in here, are mainly men, who think they can fight. I'm a fighter. Are you? Are you a fighter?
Yeah. All I see is red.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's some of the stuff that comes out of a guy's mouth, and then after their first, sparring session, I'm like, "Are you still a fighter?" They're like, "Yeah, not so much." Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nice. So you run a busy boxing gym. You got plenty of stuff on your plate already. How have you been handling all of your social media, your content since before we came in?
Yeah, look, it was hit and miss.
Yeah.
I'd take some videos of what's happening in the gym, run them through, but I might do, 3 in 1 week and then none for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So having you guys on board, there's continuity, the quality is there, like me doing it on my phone and trying to, adjust it to an app. If it didn't work straight away, I'd have an app to use. If it didn't work straight away, I was just like, I was done with it. Yeah. I got other shit to do.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the thing. You've got other stuff to do. It's like if you're worried about social media and all that sort of thing, that's just another thing
it's not my thing.
Right?
I got a gym to run. I like the boxing. Talking myself up.
Yeah,
it's not my thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need someone else to talk me up to get people in the gym.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Me doing it myself feels weird.
Okay. I noticed when we first came in as well, you already had a couple of thousand followers. On your story, you were getting a couple hundred views.
Yeah.
You were doing really good. Since when we first came in, what have you noticed that's changed?
The continuity, because you guys are doing a story, a couple of stories a week, which is then, and the quality is obviously much better than what I can do.
Yeah.
So I don't have the time or the knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I like seeing it because I see what I was doing and what you guys are doing. I'm like, I wonder what gym they're talking about, and then I realise it's mine.
Nice. Does it feel good having a lot of your students and even trainers come in and say all of these good things on camera?
Yeah. Well, look, you know, it's good for the members.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. You know, people get to talk about, and we're not talking the gym up. We're just talking about what we do. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's nothing. We don't have to make stuff up.
Yeah.
You know, everyone in here, you know, whether it be Anthony with the freestyle martial arts, whether it be Josh with the MMA, like he's fought in the MMA.
Yeah.
You know, George is a black belt in BJJ. He's competed. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I had 70 fights. You know, 20 odd pro fights. Like I may not have been the greatest fighter, but I know I love boxing. You know, like I love teaching people how to. It's good to see people improve. You know?
Is that what you do it for? It's to train other people and see their lives change? Does that do something for you?
It's good in that, you know, you have, you know, like, you know, the story of a kid coming in here, like, wouldn't look me in the eye because he's getting picked on at school. I was bullied at school. That's why I started boxing, you know. And then, you know, like I see this kid, you know, being bullied, no confidence, not happy at all, you know, and then, you know, comes in, does some training, does a little bit of sparring, gets a little bit of confidence, and then, you know, that same kid came in the other week, and the way he walked across the car park, I was like, what happened? He's like, yeah, you know, that guy that was picking on me at school, he's like, yeah, he's never going to do that again. I was like, yeah, look, boxing is for, and what I teach, hope stays in the gym here. Like it's a sport.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sport. It's not there. But with this kid here, he now is not worried about, he's not scared to go to school anymore. The kid that was picking on him no longer picks on him anymore. You know, I'm like, that's good. That's good.
Lives.
Yeah. He wants to go to school now. Before he didn't want to go to school, his dad was like, you know, I have to drag him out of the house to get to school because he was scared. He didn't want to go to school. It was not fun.
Wow.
Now he's like, yeah, I'm going to school. He's getting up, takes himself to school. He's happy to go to school. He's enjoying school.
Nice.
Because he's not having those issues anymore.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, another thing as well, of course, he's learned how to have these physical skills, but he feels more confident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that he never has to use them ever.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time I spent in the gym, you know, working, you know, I did some security work, you know, and that too. Like I never had to use it. You don't have to. You feel confident. People can sense that, you know. But, you know, especially men. Men think they can fight.
Yeah.
You know, and most men can't.
Yeah.
You know, most men can't fight. You know, when it's something you learn, it's a skill you learn. Like, you know, I watched the State Origin tonight, and no one will yell out advice to these rugby league players.
No.
But I know nothing about rugby league. I had 3 games. I gave it up because it was too violent. You know, boxing is much more civilised than rugby league.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
I found rugby league quite confronting. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll just stick to boxing.
And then moving on to the next thing, I just had a look right now. I took some screenshots of what we've done over the last 3 months, the measurables and all that sort of thing. On Instagram, you've generated a bit more than 35,000 views over the last 3 months. And on Facebook, you've generated a bit more than 55,000 views as well. Now, these are huge percentage increases.
Okay.
Have you seen an increase of attendance?
Yes. Yeah, more regular. People like to see. People like to see that the business, you know, and we're a business, that they go to is a legit business, you know, like they're, you know, we are good at what we do.
Okay.
You know?
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
We are, you know, we're not competing with other gyms. We're, you know, we're a class-driven gym. You know, we like to teach people. People come in for fitness. Not, you know, 99% of the people coming in here are not going to do a combat sport.
Yeah.
They'll still do the sport. You know, they'll still do boxing. They'll still do MMA. They'll still do the BJJ. You know, they'll do the Muay Thai. They're not fighting every weekend.
No.
You know, there's a, you know, 0.9% of the people coming in here are actually competing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't learn everything.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
It's good fun, you know.
Good fun.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, I've actually had someone just recently on Instagram reach out. I'll give you a look right now. Don't worry about it. We'll be chopping all this stuff out and making it look pretty.
You know what you're doing.
Of course, man. This woman right here, she said, "Hi, I'm interested in women's fitness. Can I try it out? I'm a beginner." I said, "Of course you can. Just come by anytime, really."
Yes.
So
yeah, and that's coming from, you know, like the amount of inquiries I have had since you guys have started doing the media has increased. I would say tenfold.
Wow, really? Tenfold?
Tenfold. So, you know, like like a couple a week to a couple a day.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever that is, you know, maybe tenfold is not the right one, but, you know, has increased quite a high percentage.
Wow.
So, you know, from a couple of inquiries a week, now I'm answering inquiries every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And, you know, probably a minimum of 3.
Okay.
You know, which I was doing 3 or 4 a week. I was happy with 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing 3 or 4 a day.
I remember when we first came in, I walked into the gym, I met you, I shook your hand, we were talking about AI, all that sort of thing. I remember meeting Brandon in Spain too, and all that sort of thing, talking about people who used to go to the Smithies a lot as well. And what came out of that conversation, we both agreed, you know, start off with 1 post a week, we'll see how we go. And, you know, if it doesn't go anywhere, we could just call it that pretty much, you know. We'll give it a red hot crack and see how it goes. So over the course of this 3 months, why have you decided to stay with us?
I like what you're doing. It fits the gym, you know. It's, you know, they're short, to the point. There's no, you know, you're not putting, you know, you're not saying, you're not, what can I say?
That's right, man.
It seems like, you know, it's like I would, if I could do videos, that's what I would do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you've swung into what we do. You're not, you know, I don't want over rainbows and, you know, sparkles everywhere, because that's not that type of gym. Have a look around. It's not, you know, it's a combat sport.
Yeah.
You know, we're not doing it. To the point, you're spitting out what we do. You've shown, you know, in your videos, you know, the fighters, people doing the classes are doing what they do. You're showing what we do. That's all I want, you know, because what we are doing here is good. You know, we know what we're doing. Yeah. Nice. And that's not, you know, that's from me being around the sport for, you know, like 40 years, you know, off and on, as a competitor, as a trainer, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's experience that comes into it, and I believe with your experience, you've built this huge personal reputation around Toowoomba. I've heard all sorts of great things about you, and that's why I keep kind of flexing you on our social media as well.
Yeah, Mum's really good. No, well, it's just, you know, I just do what I enjoy. I don't do anything else. I'm just doing it, you know, I enjoy it. And I want other people to enjoy it. I want, you know, like for fitness, you know, and, you know, I'm not here to, you know, like obviously, you know, I care about people like coming in here, but, you know, I don't care about their feelings too much either. You know, like it's a combat sport, you know. Like it's boxing.
Yeah, let's get shit done.
You come in. I don't care if you feel a little bit tired or your hair's mussed or, you know, you've got your favourite shoes on. Who cares?
Yeah.
Come
Get
in
dirty.
Here, hit stuff.
Yeah, hit stuff. I love it.
Try not to get hit.
Nice. So just to summarise everything to finish up, if you could say to the camera, perhaps someone's listening who's just sitting right on the edge, they don't know what to do with their social media, they got other shit to worry about. Is it worth the time and effort?
Yeah, most definitely. Like not having to worry about that. Seeing a video come up, like, because I don't know what you guys are doing. You don't discuss it with me. We discussed the plan. You obviously understand what I want.
Yeah.
Every video that's come in, I'm like, that's really good. I want to join that gym. Yeah. You've convinced me to want to join the gym that I run. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's, you know, you were able to pick up the, I don't know, vibe, you know, the feel of the gym. It's a boxing gym. You know, I was worried that, you know, whoever did the videos was going to come up with something, and I'd look at it and go, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
You know, why would I go there? It's not my thing. But when I look at your videos, I'm like, hell yeah, I'd join that gym. That's what I wanted.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That really means a lot to me, you know,
Yeah.
and especially the person who makes the videos who's sitting behind that camera too. I'm sure he loves that feedback.
Yeah, no, it's good. You've done an awesome job.
Nice.
I love it.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for sitting down with us, Brandon. I appreciate your time, man, and all the good words as well.
No worries. No, well, if it was rubbish, I'd tell you.
Nice. Thank you.